Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Read TFOS, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called EmpireCrasher.exe, Why Humans Should Never Have an Intergalactic Internet Connection, written by Agro. When a new species enters the galactic community, quite a few things need to happen. After passing all the red tape, ensuring the species isn't a terrorist nightmare, the species needs a connection to Galnet. We hooked up 8 different subspace nodes to link humanity's infrastructure to ours, each one capable of 15 exabytes per second. Protocol said a planet of their size and level of technological achievement should be comfortable on 6, but we've been wrong before, and wrong we were. We flipped the switch, opening the floodgates of intergalactic communications. Libraries began downloading billions of books from many thousands of cultures. Hospitals began scouring the archives for medical treatments, blueprints for advanced tech, histories of speech and recipes for strange meals began flooding into the human homeworld. Of course, not everything humans do is practical. When they discovered the Talazar show leopard looked similar to a kitten, albeit with the wrong number of appendages, they went nuts. A sudden burst of traffic to the Talazar homeworld crippled their internet infrastructure, somehow resulting in a few fatalities. Every time something from another planet went viral, the server that hosted the content would explode. Yes, explode, with fire and everything. Let's just say that when most species discovers that you can get a 600-meter-long press meridian sea dragon drunk, millions of people don't all want to see videos of it at once. 2 of our subspace nodes had already been destroyed. One went down when humans learned that the people of Kazavak Prime looked and acted like giant weeble wobbles. The others went down when they discovered that these people enjoy sumo wrestling. By the 10-minute mark, several militaries felt the need to step in. Those server outages looked suspiciously like targeted attacks, and when you take out critical infrastructure, it's hard to see it as anything other than an act of war. By the 15-minute mark, 11 different species had declared war on humanity. Thankfully, ships traveled much slower than news that the galactic equivalent of the Guinness Book of World Records existed. It listed the longest distance traveled by strapping yourself to a firework as only 2,000 kilometers. A wave of videos starring humans strapping themselves to fireworks and shooting off into the stratosphere took down their 3rd node. A 4th was taken down when one of them ran into it, unleashing a very colorful explosion that could be seen from the surface. At the 25-minute mark, a new problem emerged. Humans have a knack for writing malware, and while they also have a knack for defending against it, most species do not. Hundreds of star systems started reporting problems, as ransomware programs started releasing terabytes of top-secret information every minute until the Prismaridium sent 10,000 in cash to an address in western Texas. This was challenged because they were about 200 light years away, which would take weeks even with a very fast ship. A wave of self-replicating malware hijacked one of the subspace nodes, injecting copies of itself into every connection that wasn't well encrypted. Once it discovered that some alien systems didn't check the files they received at all, it started replacing them with 200-gigabyte packages of every nasty virus it could find. The extra bandwidth destroyed the node. 2 fleets of automated warships that were engaging in a battle suddenly stopped their conflict and began salvaging themselves for raw metal, discarding valuable tech and destroying their engines in the process. The malware responsible was designed to make construction vehicles on Earth sell themselves for scrap. Within 2 minutes of opening their networks to Earth, the entire economy of Trivik 4 was transferred to a Nigerian prince. This email appeared to come from an observer, a gas giant-sized computer that managed surveillance of the entire sector. It now used every ounce of its processing power to mine Bitcoin and send scam emails to the galaxy. No one had ever expected malware on human systems to be so common and so complex. Humanity figured our technology would handle it, and when they brought it up, we thought they were joking. The chaos this mistake caused was immense. At the 48-minute mark, Google began indexing the entirety of Galnet, and all hope was lost. Their apparently unlimited supply of bandwidth destroyed the 2 of the nodes instantly, and the 8th and final node went down in a ball of flame after all humanity's internet traffic was channeled through it. With that, humanity had been cut off from Galnet, but the damage was done. The galaxy would probably spend decades cleaning the malware from their systems. In 45 minutes, multiple empires had crashed, and at least one accidental genocide took place. The Galnet Tech Empire was affected the most. Their entire system, from military vessels to government mainframes to robots that swept their floors, was under full malware control. The culprit was literally started as a joke from a freshman in college studying for a computer science degree. It wasn't designed to work and could be detected by even the worst of anti-malware programs. Unfortunately, the Galactic Empire put all their eggs in one basket. All of their internet traffic was channeled through a single massive firewall that cleaned everything and managed to evade all the adware humanity could throw at them. Unfortunately, this firewall also hosted some extremely high-definition video of a species that looked a lot like Groot, so you can imagine what happened. The Great Firewall fell, quite literally actually. It landed on the planet it was orbiting, causing an earthquake that leveled most of it. This joke of a virus was the first one to get it, and the chaos began instantly. The virus secretly took control of the military research division of the Empire and began constructing a fleet of warships designed to deploy large mechs to ground fights. 2 models existed. One modeled after a standard bipedal species designed to use its arms as melee weapons if needed. The other looked like a combination of large reptile and pile of guns. It was dripping with missiles, plasma cannons, and other weapons. The military went on a tour, showing off their new toys to the people whose tax dollars paid for them. On the final day, their pride and joy began recreating a classic Earth movie, Godzilla vs. King Kong. Millions died, and the capital city was destroyed. Fighting alongside them was every car, hovercraft, and self-aware toaster within range. If they didn't have a gun, they ran into their enemy or tossed each other at them. By the end of the day, humanity had been accused of using their malware to take over the galaxy. Their weaponized viral videos got them charged with war crimes, and a grand total of 705 different worlds declared war on them. Estimates for the amount of infrastructure damaged are still being estimated, but it's expected to be in the quintillions. Humanity promised to teach the galaxy how online security works, and quickly became the leading authority in avoiding malware. Once people knew how powerful malware could be, it was quickly added to the growing list of military tactics. Once the galaxy has been given a few months to figure out how security works, humanity plans to build 75 subspace nodes and make sure they don't explode. End of story. Story number 2. Now What Are They Doing? Written by Unknown. The Overseer watched from a safe distance. Thousands of them had gathered at the shore, lying about, cooking, imbibing toxic fluids, and generally, apparently, having a good time.
Do they know about the radiation?
Both biologic and anthropic floated nearby, watching the same scene as their master. They'd both been studying the humans for quite some time, and had begun to understand them at least a little. Anthropic spoke first, tendrils pointing to a group of younglings.
They do seem to do this for recreation, in herd sizes ranging from 2 or 4 to upwards of 20 and more. They often bring appliances for burning meats, flasks or metallic containers for ethanol, diluted, of course, and flavored, and simply lay about.
Biologic added,
Our chief advisor states that this is known as a holiday, sometimes a beach party.
But why? What purpose does this serve? Do all humans do this?
Biologic let Anthropic answer that one.
Well, yes and no. Some humans come from wetter, colder climates. They often travel to planets with warmer standard temperatures for a week or longer.
perhaps once or twice a souls a year.
Are they basking like the Nicodovians do?
No, Overseer. Humans are warm-blooded animals. They do not wear thermosuits to regulate temperature in the same way cold-blooded beings do.
Anthropic interjected.
Though they do dress accordingly to extreme temperatures, thicker clothes in the cold, less or lighter clothing in the heat.
I see. He spoke to a passing human, voice broadcast through an external speaker. Human, please answer my query. Are you aware of the risks of absorbing copious amounts of ultraviolet light on a biological being such as yourself?
He paused, quizzical look on his face. Well, yeah. We've been doing this for eons. Love a beer and a Barbie on the beach.
Are you from Earth originally?
That's right. He beamed at them. Australia.
Biologic and Anthropic both sent to the Overseer their information on the southern country.
The human continued, ignoring the Overseer's surprised leaps. Down there, this is considered cold.
Cold? You are aware the sun here is closer to this planet than Sol is to Earth?
The man shrugged, still smiled. It is. But we've got sun cream. Does the trick. Hey, he pulled a quartet of metallic cans from his satchel. Fancy a beer?
Biologic spoke. We unfortunately cannot partake in the processing of biological substances, but thank you.
The can hissed as he cracked it, taking a swig. No worries, more for me. He sauntered off, sipping his beer, joining a group that appeared to be playing some sort of game involving a flat, circular dish of plastic.
They sit in the sun, becoming irradiated, dehydrating from ethanol ingestion, cooking themselves. That results in cancers and burns. Allow children to run about fully exposed. They do this for fun?
Indeed,
Overseer.
Biologic sent another data packet.
Though they do receive some natural benefits, there are certain vitamins and chemicals produced, much like photosynthesis in plant-based life, the humans require. But they could receive these nutrients orally or by injection, no?
Well, Anthropic spoke now, hesitating. I believe I am correct in thinking that this is more fun. Mammals appear to become more active in sunlight and warmth, report a feeling generally better, and seem more amicable than in wintertime.
It is almost as if they are natural solar batteries.
Biologic sent a string of ones and zeros representing mirth.
My team and I have expressed the same idea, Overseer. It seems that their status as Deathworlders has given them many odd physiological benefits.
They seem vulnerable to these benefits, however, Anthropic said. They often abuse them, or overdo it, as the chief advisor would put it.
The Overseer floated there, processing silently. Then, how's Cull? I've not seen him in some time.
He is off-world, having a holiday.
Where?
He is on the ice world at the moment.
The Overseer groaned digitally. You mean they also take holidays in extreme cold as well?
Yes, and at great heights, subterranean locales, deep sea, and on barren moons. I can send the full report over. Along with Anthropic's entries on extreme sports, death-defying stunts, and dangerous magics and accounting. Accounting? Yes, Overseer. It seems to be one of the most dangerous human pastimes. They are not geared towards math, and it seems that sitting in a small space doing sums is very detrimental to their physical and mental health. The Overseer broadcast a static buzz of disbelief.
Utterly bizarre creatures. What sounds to us like a paradise is their worst nightmare. It's times like this I wish we could drink. By all accounts, it sounds like it helps.
Well, Overseer, I actually have an interesting records on that.
No, Biologic.
That's not for now. Very good. Then, if there's nothing else, I think I might go with Anthropic and study the humans up close.
You're going sunbasking, aren't you?
It's, sunbathing, actually.
No good. Well, that's fine. Enjoy yourself. You become more like them every day. It concerns us on the higher council that one day you might become too human.
No, Overseer, Anthropic said cheerfully. Not a chance of that.
Why not? Well,
Biologic said, also cheerily. Humans don't have a risk of getting sand in their servos, just catching various illnesses. We're much safer.
Until someone buries you in the sand.
Oh, we didn't realize that you were aware of that custom.
By the universal circuits,
swore the Overseer. Being buried alive for fun. Does their madness know no bounds?
Biologic raised its tendrils in a worryingly close facsimile of a human shrug.
It seems not, though it is fun.
Fun? The overseer hissed.
It is not for beings like us. Go and mingle with the mad mammals down there.
He turned and left. When he was out of broadcast range, Biologic turned to Anthropic as they made their way towards the waves lapping the shore.
Do you think the overseer is right, that we're becoming more human?
I think he's a moaning old bastard.
A very human thing to say, Anthropic.
Maybe, but it's a sentiment you agree with, yes?
Biologics chuckled digitally again.
It is, my friend, it is. And you're right, he is a moaning old bastard. Let us go and try to have some fun.
End of story.
I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Vidmori, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.